Today I want to talk about how to get off of Medicaid or PPOs. I get that question a fair amount, and it seems like it's a real relevant topic for a lot of people. Prior to that though, I want to chat for just a moment. I want to read a testimonial we got a week and a half ago, I guess it was. It's from a Dr. Alfred Marquez down in Texas. Wonderful man. He says, as I sit down to write this, I'm just finishing up my third week since joining AMP. A few months ago, I was presented with what I initially believed was just another opportunity to sign up for yet another consulting firm. I will admit that I was hesitant to say the least. I've been through these before, and at the time, and this time it would require me to commit a significant chunk of change, as most dentists have realized it simply does not grow on trees. Something told me this opportunity was different, especially when it came to the risk-free guarantee they were offering. I tried to find the catch in the fine print and quickly realized there simply wasn't any. I decided I had nothing to lose. After attending the one-day live event that I can only describe as life-changing, it was time to bring the coaches in for some hands-on experience in the office. By the end of the first week, I had an additional $35,000 in the bank. That is staggering to me. The staff and I were amazed at the results. With just the first day of on-site coaching, I'm still left wondering how this was possible. In the weeks that followed, we were able to use these techniques that our coaches presented to drastically increase our case acceptance on several large cases that otherwise would have slipped through our grasp. There was even one day during the third week where we deposited close to $34,000. This type of measurable results were unheard of prior to us working with AMP. If I weren't experiencing this myself, I would have never believed it's possible. One of my biggest concerns in starting down this path was how the staff would react. I'm enthusiastic to report that my staff is excited, is enjoying the coaching and the renewed enthusiasm in our office, and is looking forward to our upcoming visits. It truly is an experience a team experience where everyone will benefit. Most importantly, the patient. We are amped. And the hard work starts whether it's in your business, your relationships, or making a change like this, will start when it gets tough. That's not the time to pull the plug and move back to what it was before. That's the time to really make sure you're hyper-focused on what it is you want. You know, we shot a show a few weeks, maybe a month ago now, on really mapping out what it is you want, starting with the outcome in mind, why you want it, and then how you're going to get it. If you've not done that process clearly around this topic, it could be an emotional roller coaster. So I would strongly suggest you get great clarity about why you want to make this change, and then it'll help you to get through those days. So then the how-to part becomes very easy. The how-to, what I would suggest, let's start with PPOs first. What I would do first regarding shifting away from PPOs, if that's the desire you have, is to first figure out a few things. And you can run reports on all this stuff in your practice management software, and if you need help, call our team, we'll help you slice and dice it. But what I would like to know is, on a general aggregate perspective, I have PPO A and PPO B. PPO A, I take a 35% write-off. PPO B, I take a 25% write-off. Now one would think that that's real easy, dump the bigger one. Well, maybe not. It depends on how much that's going to impact your business. The one with the bigger write-off could be 50% of your revenue. You go dump that, you could take a huge pay cut, and it could be catastrophic. So we really need to understand how each one of these plans is going to impact the business in terms of the write-off percentage, the percentage of overall revenue to the business, and the percentage of patients. I want to know all three of those things before I make any change. Now, it would stand to reason in some cases you'd say, hey, go dump the biggest one that's violating us the most. I'm going to suggest you do it the exact opposite. I'm going to suggest you start with one that won't impact your business much so you can practice how to get this done effectively. So the question becomes, first off, how are we going to do it? And then which ones are we going to start with? And I would suggest starting with one that'll have a very minimal impact. So we need to have thought through what benefit can we provide the patient. So then what we need to do is send this letter out, again, phrase such that there's benefit for the patient as why we're making the change, and encourage them to call and ask questions. I realize in many cases you don't want to do that because you don't want your phone to blow up, but if the phone doesn't blow up, it might just mean they left. they have a relationship with you, I would encourage them to call you and ask questions so you can have this conversation of, hey, the difference between a cleaning's like $8. It's not like you can't do it or something like that. It's an $8 difference. So then relative to this Medicaid conversation, kind of the same thing. Got to do the math on how big of an impact is this going to have on your business? Are you emotionally prepared for this? And what I would do there is I would first start by not accepting new Medicaid patients. And then what I would do is I would start to relegate the schedule. I would start to manage it via schedule management. So we only see Medicaid on Thursday, as an example. Or we see Medicaid on Monday and Thursday, or whatever. So limit the access to care so then we can see the higher paying, higher quality patients on the other days. And then what I would do is continuously narrow that scope down until you either get off it altogether or maybe you're okay taking it. So with that being said, get with your coaches, have a conversation with them to figure out where the best place is to start, should this be something you're interested in. And aside from that, I look forward to seeing you at 8 o'clock Mountain, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Until then, have a wonderful day.
What if you could have the practice of your dreams? What's holding you back? Imagine a life where you have everything you ever wanted.